everyone, it's Gio here. I hope everyone's having the best blessed day that they could have today. It's December 30th, tomorrow's New Year's Eve. So, it's been quite the year. A year ago, on this day actually was when I began speaking with my daughter again. We kind of went through a hiatus where I didn't talk to her for the better part of 5 years. We got in a fight, and I took that as as a sign for me just to kind of just give up on life, pretty much, so to speak. And I just kind of just turned back to the life of drugs and partying and not living life, basically, So, but first, I just want to ask you, please hit the subscribe button if you're watching this video on YouTube. I really need to get subscribers for the channel. If you could do that, please, just so I can try to do more things and everything with this. And then also the like button. I need likes and everything like that. But I appreciate anyone supporting me, anyone watching these videos. I appreciate it so much. So I want to say good luck, Miami Dolphins, tomorrow. We have the biggest game, of my lifetime. It's really, really exciting to have them doing so well. So, and I'm a huge Dolphins fan. I love the Dolphins, and I love that I'm able to watch the games now and everything. Because for the past 5 years, 6 years, I barely watched anything. I haven't really watched them much at all because I was just so busy and doing whatever I had to do in order to get whatever I needed to get. But, so today, while I was at work, I went to work today. I worked 10 till 8 o'clock, and the whole day I was just so excited to come home and make this video. So I was just thinking about everything about it, but I was really, really excited for it. So it was a cool feeling. But it just really thought a lot today about how far I've come, and how it's so nice just to come home to my apartment and to come home to like my TV and just food in my house and just everything that I need. I have it now, so it's so nice, and it's so different than it was before. But yeah, a year ago today, I started speaking with my daughter, and I informed her, that I wanted to go to rehab for her. She's going to be getting married soon. Later this year, she's getting married. And I wanted to be there for her wedding because basically, because of my addiction and everything, I ended up missing pretty much her entire, teenage life and going into her adult life so far. Like, I barely know her at all, and it's so crazy because when she was little, we were so close, like beyond belief close. Like, she was my best friend for so long. So I did a lot of things great when she was little, and I remember, like, when her mother was pregnant and everything, I used to read to her, while she was still in her belly. I used to read to her all the time, so she'd get to know my voice, and so she would, hear my voice and know it. And when she was born, at her birth, what happened was she turned herself breech, like the last minute, so they had to do emergency C-section. And the choices were that I could be in the room, and my ex-wife, she would have to be awake, or else she could get, knocked out for it, but I wasn't allowed to be in the room, and she didn't want to go through the pain or anything, so she said she wanted to be knocked out. So I remember waiting, and oh my gosh, like just the wait for that, it was so crazy of a feeling and everything, just such a nervous feeling, waiting for your child to be born and not being able to be there for it. It was just, I can't even describe the feeling to you, but I remember it like it was yesterday. I remember there, and then I remember hearing her cry from the other room for the first time. Just all of a sudden, I hear her cry, and oh my God, it was so amazing. And from that, then I got to go hold her, and because I think because I'd been reading to her and everything, as soon as she heard my voice, she stopped crying instantly. And from that point on, she was basically the perfect child. So I did so many things right when she was young. So like I said, she was my best friend. And but the things that I like, a lot of the things I remember her first Christmas, that she had so many presents that it took her literally 3 days to open all these presents. She's 1 year old, or she's not even one, and she's just got, I gave her way too much stuff. I spoiled her too much. And like every year I got her like the newest Barbie dream house every year, so she had a room in her house because I actually owned my house at this time. but she had a room that was all doll houses. Like the entire room was wall-to-wall doll houses, which she barely ever played in because she had so much other stuff. So I gave her so much stuff that it actually like took value away from the stuff. But other main things that I remember, I remember that one of the things I think I did that was really, really important was every single time that my child was on stage, anytime she did anything from her first kindergarten graduation, this is where it first started, at the end of whatever happened with her, if her name got called or whatever, I would scream her name as loud as I possibly could. I would just scream, Jasmine, as loud as I possibly could. And, she hated it and embarrassed her like crazy, but at the same time, she loved it too. And, I looked at it as that I showed her that she was the most special person that was there, because nobody else is going to really be able to do that for their kids. Nobody, it's embarrassing for me too to do it, but I still did it every single time. And it also showed her that she was loved more than anybody else. So those were the reasons why I did that. But I also remember for her kindergarten, I took her to the mall. I remember, and I got a Children's Place credit card, and I bought her the entire Children's Place, like the entire store. I spent like $700. And I remember the lady at the store that was working there, she said, you have no idea how lucky you are, to my daughter. And, she said that to her, and that was kind of cool, but I miss all that, and then I remember that. And then like other main things, I remember one day we were walking into the mall, me and her, and I was carrying her. She was probably like 3. We were walking into Syracuse Mall, and I had her in my arms, and I believe they're called midgets, right? I'm sorry if that offends anyone, but a little person was walking out the door, and I like tried to hide her from it because I knew she was gonna say something, and then she like pulled away. She's like, "Daddy, look at that little person. Why is she so little?" And she said it out loud, and it was just, I don't know, it was really, really cute though. But I did so many things with her when she was little. It was me and her. When me and my ex-wife got divorced, I just turned to her, and it was me and her. And basically, until she was like 8 years old, I went to bed holding her hand every night. Like she held my hand. We both slept on the sectional couch. She slept on this one part. I slept on the bigger part. And she held my hand going to bed every night. Like this child was so loved. I loved her so, so, so much. She meant everything to me. And, other things, like I remember, like we would go on vacation, and one other thing I did really, really well, I thought was like an amazing thing I did. So we used to go, we had season passes for Great Escape, and we would go all the time, like 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 times a year I would take her. And a lot of times, like, we would bring her friends and everything, and I took a lot of her friends on vacation with me and stuff, just me, her, and her friend. We would go on vacation together, and, it would be the greatest time. But sometimes I would have a girlfriend or whatever that would come, but a lot of times it was just me and her, and those were the best times when it was just me and her. But it was one time we went to Great Escape, and all of a sudden, like, I used to, like, put her in, like, high heel shoes, like, not high heels, but just shoes that had bigger soles on them to make her taller so she could ride on the rides. And then I used to do her hair up, like, in a big bun and stuff just to get her on, like, some of the rides and everything, which she informed me. We talked about this at Christmas, and she said, yeah, that wasn't safe, but I don't really think it was any danger of anything, but I always kind of, like, did a lot of things like that with her, but I tried to make her taller and stuff. So all of a sudden one day, she's like maybe 5 years old, and all of a sudden, and she wasn't the biggest girl at all, she was very like small, short, like me, and she could ride on the sky coaster, and she said, I want to do it. So I said, okay, are you sure? And she said, yeah. So signed us up. And then we go up, and we're like getting dressed to go on it, and all of a sudden I notice like she's crying, like she's starting to get scared. But I didn't pay any attention to it. I just kept on going. Boom, we walked up to the platform. Now she's bawling, she's crying so hard. Then the lady's like, oh my God, are you okay? And I said, she's fine. She's absolutely fine. Just let her go. She's fine. And then we got on the ride, and we did it, pulled us all the way up, and let go, and it dropped, just shoom, fly down. And she loved it so much. And then she had to ride it every time afterwards. But, like, for her, what that did at that moment was that, like, took away all of her fear. It really, really did. It made it so she wasn't scared, because something she was scared of, she did it, and she loved it, so it kind of, like, made her so she wasn't scared of anything. I noticed that after that she really didn't have a lot of fear. And then other things I did was I signed her up, like, for tap and jazz dance class, and I brought her to every single practice every week. And then afterwards, we would go to Teepee Drive-In, and we had our own table there. She would always get a cheeseburger and fried clams, and I would get a Mexican and fried clams. And she was like a celebrity when we walked in there. Like, she loved it. We always got the big table, and like, I don't know, it was so cute. Like, I miss it so much, and I can't believe how fast time goes by and everything. And but it was like, so I don't know, I was really good dad. I was really invested in her, and I did everything. Oh, one other thing, I sent her to school in kindergarten. Now this is her kid. She was born in '99, so kindergarten is like 2003, 2004. So I sent her to school with a $200 cell phone in kindergarten. Now at this time, most adults don't have cell phones, but I sent her to school with a $200 cell phone, a Razor, a pink Razor, and I just wanted her to be like cool and look cool to her friends and everything, and I showed her how to like play games on it and stuff. But I remember I immediately got a phone call, and like everybody was so mad at me for that one. But I was just trying to make it so she was cool and so she could be liked and stuff, because I knew what it was like, because I wasn't liked in school, and I had such a tough time that I really wanted it not to be like that for her. So I really tried. And then she did cheerleading and going to like every practice with her and stuff. And I remember too that we used to do a thing where we would look for a new playground every day. I would get out of work, I'd go to work, I'd work 6 to 2, 6 to 3, and I'd get out of work and I'd pick her up and we would go look for a new playground. Like, we'd drive 2 hours to find a playground, after school and everything on a school night, just drive and go find like new playgrounds to go play on. And I would always play on them with her and everything, and but I loved doing all that with her, and like going to like these cornfield meet. Anything I could think to do with her, I always did. I took her to Bear in the Big Blue House, at the Stanley Theater. I took her to High School Musical on Ice. I took her to Hilary Duff concert when she was like 4 years old. I took her to Hannah Montana in 3D, I remember. I took her to High School Musical 3D. Like, we did a lot of stuff. Like, I took her to Hunger Games, the very first Hunger Games, the opening. I took her on a school night, Thursday night, I remember. She was older then, though. But I took her so she could go see that. But the day that when she switched over from Nickelodeon to Disney, it was such a great day, because I actually loved all the Disney shows. They were so great at that time. She switched over because when High School Musical came out, she like loved it, and she was so mad at me when that movie came out, because in that movie, Vanessa Hudgens is the star, and her name is Gabriella, and her mother wanted to name her Gabriella, but I wanted to name her Jasmine. So she was so mad when that movie came out, because she wished that she was named Gabriella, and she was mad at me for that. I remember that. But I don't know, but I was such a good dad, and it's so crazy how time went by and everything, and that everything went the way it did. But it just kind of showed you, I signed her up for a beauty pageant. I seen it in the paper or something one day, so I signed her up. I did her hair for it. I remember I got her all ready, and I took her to the beauty pageant at the fair. I remember I did that with her. Just me and her went, you know what I mean? It's not like someone else went with her, prettied her up or nothing. I did it all myself and everything, and took her there, and but I don't know. I was a really good dad when she was young, and I really tried so hard. Like, I recorded every single event, every single thing. I had it on video, and I had them all labeled and everything. But it sucks, because they all got thrown out when I first went to jail, and my apartment, everything got thrown out in my apartment, so I lost them all, and it sucks so bad. And I hate so bad that happened, and I wish that she could see all that, to know, like, the kind of dad that I was, because she'll never know. She'll never, ever understand that, that I was a good dad and everything, and that how much I cared about her and stuff. And all she knows is that I haven't been in her life for as long as I haven't been, because pretty much I went to rehab in 2012, and so at that time she was 12 years old when I went, or maybe she was 13. She just turned 13 when I went to rehab, because I went in August of 2012, and then, and up till then, like, she lived with me and everything, so I seen her every day, and after that, I've maybe seen her 100 times if I'm lucky since then. That's really, really, like, hard pressed. If I'm lucky, I've seen her 100 times since then. So this child that meant absolute world to me, that everything, like, she was my life, everything, just by me, like, just getting involved with drugs and everything, it just made it so I didn't it's not that I never stopped caring. It's not that I didn't want to be. It just took me away, and I didn't know how to get back. You know, I really, really did not know how to get back. And it's so crazy. And like, I don't know, like I have all these early memories of me and her and everything. But like past that, like so much of it I can't even remember because of, you know, I was taking once I got prescribed the hydros and everything, I was taking all them and abusing them and everything. So like my memory's so foggy from that point on, like and it sucks so bad that happened like that. But like, so like the big main point that I'm trying to make here is like, you know, even though I was such a good dad and I cared so much, you know, just by like making the decision to do drugs or whatever, you know, it took me away from that, and it made me like not even, it's not that I didn't care that I wasn't there, it just was like I didn't even realize that I wasn't there, you know what I mean? Like I just always planned on, okay, I'm gonna be there soon, you know what I mean? Like it's coming, you know, I'll get back to her soon, like everything somehow will work, but it just never ever does, and it's so crazy, you know. And now 10 years later, 11 years later, here I am sitting here making this video, thinking about these things and thinking about, you know, how much I missed. And like, I barely know her. I missed her graduation. I missed her 16th birthday. I missed her going to college. I missed, you know, her driving, teaching her to drive. I missed all of that. And this is a child that like every day after school, I would go and look for a new playground to play with her, and I would hold her hand going to bed every single night to show, because I loved her so much and I just cared about her so much. And now all of a sudden I'm just gone from her life, like, and that somehow was just okay with me, and I'm not fighting to get back or nothing. I'm just kind of going along, going through the motions, you know, and whatever. And like, but drugs just became more important, and that's all that I looked for, and that's all that I wanted, you know. I mean, I tried to do different things here and there or whatever, but pretty much it always came back to drugs, and it always came back to like just wanting to do drugs. I don't know why, you know. I do know why. I understand a lot more about it now and everything, but it's just so crazy how easily that could happen, you know. Like, and like, when I tell you, like, I was the best dad in the world, like, I really believe I might have been like the best dad in the world, like, to this child. Like, I raised her so good, and I was so good with her and everything, and like I was trusted to take her and her friends on week-long vacations if I wanted to. Like, you know what I mean? All of our teachers loved me. Like, I was such an involved parent, and I was so, like, just, oh man, it's so crazy. But, you know, I never imagined that it would all be gone. You know what I mean? That I would lose all that time, and now I can never get it back or anything. But all I can do now is just focus on, you know, the fact that I'm here now. You know, I'm making these videos, and I'm able to, you know, be sober now and be happy that I'm sober. That's the biggest thing in the world, is that I'm happy that I'm sober. Like any other time that I ever tried to get sober before, I wasn't happy to be, you know. It was like I was just kind of doing it because I was, you know, whatever reason, you know, probation or else, you know, whatever. I just trying to do it, a job or something, you know, but I never wanted to be. Like, I still felt like I needed to have something to feel better, something to like elevate me, something to make me different, something to make me more likable, something to make me more stronger, make me better. I always felt like I needed that because I never felt like I was good enough. I never felt like I was good enough for anything, for anybody. And like, I just felt like that when I did drugs and everything, that they just made me more personable, more likable. I was funnier. I was, you know, I was just, I don't know, and I became to where that was a crutch that I needed. I needed to have it, and I didn't know how to live without them. I didn't know how to just be like I am now. I didn't know how to be okay with myself. I was so just not okay with myself, and I was trying to be someone that I wasn't. You know, I was so worried about being cool and being liked and having everyone think that I was cool, and like that's where my focus went, because I didn't know what to do. And, you know, a lot of things happened, you know, that like, you know, things fell a certain way, you know, that like each decision that I made, like this thing happened, then I lose everything that I own. And then, you know, I make this decision, you know, and it all just kept on like falling down, you know, like a set of dominoes falling down, you know, just getting lower. But it's just crazy, like people talk about, you gotta hit rock bottom. But like for me, like I was literally bottomless. Like really was. Like there was no rock bottom for me, going to jail or else, having like 10 warrants, I never had 10, but I've had 4 warrants multiple times where 4 different, police departments are looking for me, or as far as like being homeless and not having anything at all, not having any possessions except for what's in my backpack, and not having any talk with my family, anything at all. Like I remember not this past birthday, because my birthday was good this year, but the year before that, my birthday, like I think like my grandmother, I don't even think my grandma, I don't think that anybody in my family, my daughter, I think, sent me a thing that said happy birthday, I'm pretty sure. But aside from that, I don't think anybody in my family even said happy birthday to me. Like, and I didn't even care. Like, it was just like, whatever, I didn't even care. All I cared about was just getting whatever substance I had to get to feel okay and to be all right. And, and it's so great. Like, that was just my life, and that was what it was. And, like, it seemed impossible to ever change it, or like to even want to change it, just the thought of wanting to, like, where do you start, what do you do, and then so I don't know, a lot of things. Like I'll talk sometime about like the story about how like I got to there where me and my daughter didn't talk for that long and everything. But like when I told her, when she started talking to me and she told me about the wedding and stuff, like it was always kind of said to me that if you get yourself better, maybe you'll be able to be at her wedding. Maybe you can walk her down the aisle, or, at least be at her wedding, so now all of a sudden she's getting married, and at the time she tells me this, like I got multiple warrants, I have felony warrants, I have all this stuff. So now great, now she's going to be getting married, and now it's at the time where my life is at its absolute worst. Like I have nothing. You know what I mean? I'm staying in someone's house that doesn't want me there, and I'm just kind of staying there and not paying anything, just kind of getting drugs and giving them drugs once in a while to stay at his house, and that's where I'm living, and there's cockroaches there, and there's like, it's just not a good situation, but I'm staying there, whatever, and at least it's a place to stay, because a lot of people don't even have that. But like I'm staying somewhere I'm not welcome, not wanted, and it's just really tough situation, and my only means of income is boosting from stores, and and my only goal every day is just to get high. That's my only goal every day. That's what my life was, and it's sad, and it's sad, and somehow or another, like I was just okay with this, it was crazy. I was just like, okay, this is my life, you know what I mean? Just do it, and just try to make the best of it, try to like get as much drugs as I can on this day, so it's a fun day, so I don't care about none of the stuff that I'm missing, or the fact that I have no real friends, no real anything, no real relationships, nothing, nothing of substance at all. Like that's where I was at. And now all of a sudden she's going to be getting married, and like, so what do I, it's scary, because what do I do, like how do I, like I want to be at her wedding, this is the last thing I have to, my child that meant everything to me, and now I messed up her life, and like, so now if I don't make her wedding, like what else do I have, that was kind of the one thing that I had to look forward to, trying to be a part of, and so now all of a sudden, she tells me that and everything, and then I have all this, I'm looking at, decent amount of jail time it could be. I had 4 felony warrants, or 4 felony charges out of one court, and then I had at least 30 different misdemeanor charges out of multiple courts, and like, what do I even do, So I told her that I would go to rehab, and I would try to, and I told her that I don't know what's going to happen, with all my stuff with jail and everything. I don't know. I might have to go to jail for a while. And she said, why would you have to go to jail? That's what she said to me. And I told her, because I've done a lot of things that I've gotten in trouble for, and I have to answer for them. And, by the grace of God, like here I am sitting right here now talking to you sober, not in fear of going to jail at all, and not in fear of anything. And I can, and I'm just, and this is a year later now, and I am sober. I'm sober since April 7th, so close, going on, almost 9 months now. I'm actually sober, and I actually can say I like being sober, and I'm happy to be sober, and I feel like I'm proud to be sober, and it feels good to be sober, and there's no fear of me using, there's no fear of me slipping up, there's no fear of, any of that. I'm strong now, and like, so I can actually say that, and that feels so great. And I'm getting substance, I'm starting to make substance out of my life now, and starting to make traction, moving forward and everything, to where I actually think I can be a contributing member of society. I actually think I can be a good member of society. I actually think I can be a good dad again. I actually think I can be good for people to know me, like me and my mom are close now. Me and my dad are closer now. Me and my grandmother are closer now. Like, it's actually good for people to be close to me now. Like it wasn't before, because I was just going to let everyone down, and I knew that, so I stayed away from everyone because I didn't want to hurt people, so I just, like, I would go to jail, I wouldn't call anybody, I wouldn't contact anybody. But, so, I mean, I sit here now, I have everything all wrapped up, everything all, for the most part, taken care of. I still have some things I have to address that I'm trying to address, though. That's the thing, is I'm trying to take care of everything, and everything's all, like, in the process, like, there's no, like, fear of anything happening, because I have everything worked out now. And now, like, I'm working on my credit, I'm working on getting my license back, I have all these new goals now. I'm trying to become a peer specialist, I'm trying to do all these different, I'm trying to make these videos and become a content creator and try to help other people that are suffering, to show them that it's possible, so these are all the things that I'm doing now. But it can get away from you so quickly. So I mean, for anyone that's out there, that, like, if you're a child and, like, your parents or whatever are struggling and everything, it's not that they don't want to be there, it's not that it's just so hard that they can't, and they don't even probably realize, they don't realize a lot of it, it's just hard, you're stuck, you get stuck, and then that's all that your brain tells you that you want. It tells you that you want this substance, that you want this more than anything in the world, you want this no matter the cost, you want this no matter, what it's going to do to you, no matter any of it, that can happen. So, and I'm a shining example of that. That's exactly the case. But so that's part of my story, though, and that's just showed you, but to my daughter, like, I love her more than anything. And I always did, and it was never that I didn't love her, it was just, I just got so lost, and I couldn't even think about it wasn't that I couldn't find my way back, I couldn't even begin to think about finding my way back, like, I didn't know how. But, so the first step to me, though, was to make that call, and to actually have White Deer Run come pick me up, making that call, and have them actually come do it, and actually go through with it and everything, and to know that I had to take care of, my stuff, my charges and everything. So the way it all played out, by the grace of God, because I have God on my side, and because I'm close with God now, He's made sure that everything's worked out for me the best way it possibly could. I mean, in every situation. And I feel that, and I know that completely, that's all because of Him. So I'm so grateful for that. But thank you guys for watching this video. I love everyone that's taking the time to do this, and I love everyone that isn't, but I appreciate you very, very much for anyone showing support. Please hit subscribe, please hit the like button, and I love everyone. To my daughter Jasmine, I love you more than life. You have no idea. And I'm trying so hard. And I mean, it's not that I'm trying so hard, it's just I'm doing this, you know what I mean? I'm where I should be now, babe. I'm where I should be, and I will not recede back. I know that that's a fear, that I will fall backwards or whatever, or that you'll, lose me from your life again, but I will always be here as much as you need me, and I'm not going anywhere no matter what. Like, nothing's going to deter me, I promise you that. So I love everyone. I thank you guys. Remember that it's nice to be important, but it's way more important to be nice. So I love you all. Thank you guys. Have a great day. Have the best new year possible. And the future is bright. And I love y'all. Bye.